Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Yeah, I know it's dressed down Friday. I'm a little less dressed down. Still got the button down on because we did have to go downtown and rock a suit today. But that's besides the point. Found out news that broke about an hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago, that Shannon Sharpe has actually settled his lawsuit with the young lady that he was involved with, which, I'm sure that many of us probably thought that this was going to be the outcome because, I mean, let's face it, even if he did have the $50 million, and we covered it before, he wasn't going to pay that. I would be surprised and shocked to find out if she got more than a couple of $1 million. I'd say maybe 5 max. The news broke because Tony Buzbee, the same lawyer who has been tried to accuse Jay-Z, P. Diddy, also had won a huge case for some of the massage therapists that worked with now Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson. One of those what did Jay-Z call him? What do you call him? A snake oil salesman and some kind of other lawyer, but some type of derogatory terms to describe him as a lawyer based out of Houston, Texas. So that's off the table. So that's one less thing that he has to worry about. But now, as other people had pointed out before, what happens in the aftermath of all of this? Of course, yes, he's probably a couple or a few $1 million lighter in the pocket. But two things. Let's talk about the first. Sponsorships. And if you look at old clips from his show till now, you'll see certain things have been taken off. He still gets crazy numbers, especially to be on the YouTube platform. But he still did lose sponsors. I think he lost. I think he was a Boost Mobile guy. I think it may have been some other gambling stuff that he had going on that he actually has lost as far as sponsorship. Or who knows? Maybe they're still paying him. They're just taking a hiatus and didn't want to have their name associated with it until this case was resolved. Also, ESPN, especially since it's been solved relatively fast, who knows what ESPN is going to do. He's a darn good commentator. He's a really good pundit when it comes down to talking about not just football, but sports in general. I've been pretty impressed with him as far as how he deals with sports commentary on ESPN and even when he was on Fox's on FS1 on Undisputed with Skip Bayless. So we don't know if he's going to come back from that. And me personally, I would say he probably will. If it's not this year, maybe in years down the line. Because, let's face it, when you have top tier talent is top tier talent, right? And on top of that, he didn't do anything probably that you or I might not have liked as far as him dating someone so much younger. But he did not break any laws. And even in this case, I firmly believe that there was no type of essay involved or anything like that. I think that this was once again a money grab, and this is why we talked about, especially here, just us having some discipline and learning how to navigate situations and look at them, even if it's just from an average 9-to-guy career-oriented path perspective, not being a celebrity. Because I think not only does money have something to do with it, but also fame. And when people know that you're famous and they can put a charge or put something on you, then they know that you'll be quick to say, especially if they have a real relationship with you with real text messages, real video, real pictures that they can share, okay? They know that they may have something, especially when you don't give them what they want. You ever have a kid and, or some of my friends out there who work with kids and, you come in one day, you say, hey, look, they say, well, you know what? Can I get a bag of M&Ms, Mr. Greg, when I come back in, or a soda or something like that? Or, you promise your kids, you're going to take them somewhere or whatever. And things may come up and you can't do it or you don't do it at the time. What typically happens? You will hear about that forever and ever and ever. And even with the kids that you may work with, you'll hear from even some of the adults. You'll hear forever and ever and ever. Oh, well, he promised me, or Mr. Greg promised me that he was bringing me in a Pepsi such, and you forgot and you didn't say. Right. So it can be the same thing with adults, especially a younger adult, especially in a romantic relationship. That's why a lot of times, men really have to watch who they date, how young you date, because although it may be a thrill at certain points in times, it still can become a larger issue. Maybe they won't sue you, but do certain things like bust the windows out your car. Shout out Jasmine Sullivan. Scratch up your car. Mess up your clothes, talk badly about you on social media. So it's not always just financial ramifications that you may face, but there can also be other deeply emotional or physical, I'ma call my brother in them situations that you may face. Luckily for Shannon, he's pretty bubbled off because he is rich and famous. So, some of those other things that I just mentioned that maybe you or I may have to deal with if we dealt with a younger girl that becomes disgruntled, he doesn't have to deal with. But we also are not going to have to cut a check like he probably had to cut to her. Second thing, hopefully him, other men, and men we're kind of stupid at times, right? We'll learn from this, and this is why you try to date somebody on your level. I get it. You get money, you become a nurse, you become a doctor, a lawyer, or whatever, and now you see all of these things that you can get because not only do you have the money, now you have other resources. You can tell a girl now, hey, listen, or a young woman, hey, look, you like the way she looks. Hey, look, you know what I mean? We about to fly out. I'm gonna fly you out somewhere. We out. And she may be a person that only makes $40,000 a year, $50,000 a year, but still she's gorgeous, or she has a nice body, or, you just like her. You happen to like her. But you're making $150,000 a year. Well, what happens is that she has way less to lose than you do. That's why a lot of times, and I used to always wonder, why do rappers date the same chicks? Why do stars, actors marry other actors? Or a lot of times you'll see doctors marrying at least a nurse or a nurse practitioner or a physician's assistant. And I used to wonder that. But then you start realizing the reason you do it is because that other person has something to lose. So they're not wanting to become embarrassed. Them not wanting to be taken up in front of a board of people and have their career jeopardized. They're going to make sure, unless this is truly a situation of SA or abusive behavior, they're not going to want to deal with that type of embarrassment just to try to get a big payday. So in the situation with Shannon Sharpe, she's a young girl. She's 19, 20. I mean, I think she's in her 20s now, maybe 23. I'm sorry. But he started off when she was about 19. So the thing is that he'll go on and continue to make money. Who knows what she'll do? But the thing is that I'm sure she doesn't have as much money as Shannon Sharpe. I don't know where her family situation is. But the deal is that however it's sliced and diced, whether you believe it's a set up conspiracy to take down a black guy, a black man, or whatever the case may be, the fact remains is that she's going to receive a payout from him now. And when it comes down to something like this, you got to kind of blame yourself, because I'm a man in my 50s, and that's the same thing. You go out here, and just because you can do it doesn't mean you always need to. Let's say that again. Just because you can do it doesn't mean that you need to. Because obviously he could afford her. She was in the same type of situation or gym that he was in with him. But guess what? Who wants to pay out that kind of money now for consensual sex, basically? But hey, hopefully he will learn. Probably not. But who knows? Because we know how this game goes. Next week, it'll be somebody else. But guess what? As long as it's not you or me, because we're going to make it through this. And we're going to live life. Don't let life live you.